Hi, welcome to our kitchen.
Hi.
So welcome to our show, Saucesome. Remember, we
It's
got
the
a name.
Saucesome
It's
Podcast.
Saucesome Podcast.
It has a name.
So again, I was like, we cannot have Riot Ricci with a hairnet right away. We said let's show her right now, and but again, we have to work with food. We
have to sanitize the place. We have to keep it clean.
So I think there's only one way. We're gonna have to suit up, gear up. I think we're gonna have to go.
2, 3. Hey, we're back.
Let's go. Let's go, boys.
Magic of television or podcasts or cell phones, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, technology.
So today, okay, so let's say we're going to be making the sauce today.
Yes, so we're doing the ginger and turmeric hot sauce with habanero.
And what's important with that is you stain your hands. We learned that the first time. They will turn yellow for about a week, yellow-orange. And so gloves very important.
Yep.
And this is our very first show with our first guest. So I'm pretty excited.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And we're going to be making sauce together. So I guess we already talked about this before. But so again, here she is, Riot Ricci, with a knife. Very dangerous.
Ready?
With or without a knife, she's dangerous. Started out in the game, and we're going to talk wrestling. We're going to...
Sauce.
I was going to say first thing, too, because you were asked already before. Do you like cooking? People want to know. And again, there's no wrong answer.
I'm going to be honest, because I'm always honest. I am not talented in the kitchen.
No, okay.
Don't like it.
So this is I'd say it's the least fun part of the job.
Oh,
so it's just a lot of taking the skin off and stuff like that. But I mean, you know.
Exactly. So if you want, either you can take that one here
Right.
and just crunch it like that. Or
Okay.
if not, just you can go ahead and just peel it.
Cut
like
it.
Peel it
Oh.
like so.
Interesting.
So we're going to ask you some questions while you're peeling it, but I mean,
Please do.
and it'll get better as we go along, you know, but don't lose a finger.
No.
It's our first guest. Already be losing a finger would not be cool on our show.
Yeah, no insurance on this podcast, so
So again, cooking is not your strength, let's say.
It's not my strength. But before we start, I do want to say thank you very much for having me
it's a pleasure.
as your very first guest on your show. So I want to start off there by saying thank you very much. No, I'm not a cook. I don't cook. I order.
Okay,
I order.
so you're really good at ordering. You're like a
I'm
professional
Like
food orderer. Okay.
Uber. Like I'm a professional Uber orderer.
Okay.
Like that's it. And you gentlemen, do you guys like to cook?
We do. Well, I do anyways.
I do too. There's the role reversals in our house, which is like I'm usually cooking, washing dishes, and my wife's building something in the yard.
Oh,
So that's kind of a thing that
I love that.
you
That's
know,
so cute.
that's just I like the kitchen. I like food makes me happy.
But what's your favorite thing to cook?
I think I like spaghetti sauces. Like I like pasta sauces. They're very. I think you could. I look in my fridge and what vegetables I have, and that's what I'm just gonna put in it. I like sauces. I like that stews. I like things that like in the wintertime you have some foods when it's cooking, or you come back home and you still smell it's been cooking all day or something. I like coming to a house that smells of food. That's it makes me. It's like a hug. It's like it's hugging me inside when I taste the food. But I just come in. I'm like,
Yep.
You know, there's some foods that like certain smells that they say that you remember forever. I mean, like they say freshly cut grass, coffee, like bacon. There's certain things that sometimes you're just like, you smell it.
Brings you back to like a memory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I guess, because cooking, I think, again, it used to be a lot more family oriented. I feel people would sit around a big table, and I don't see that as much anymore.
Like, my family and I used to have Sunday dinners.
Oh, nice.
You know,
Yeah.
Sundays. But then I think, people sometimes get older and like have families.
Yeah.
And you lose that touch. But that was special. It was special to have that. It was special.
So what type of Sundays you had in terms of big family?
So I
suppers and
come
everything?
from, I'm half Quebecois. I'm also half Italian.
Okay.
But my mother was like the ruler of the house. So on Sundays we would just have like an Italian style dinner. So it would be like pasta, lasagna, the cold cuts, all the good stuff.
Nice.
And a lot of drinking.
Of course.
A lot of drinking.
Of course.
A lot of drinking. A lot of drinking.
I'm just as guilty too of like cell phones and stuff. How I feel that that's taken over a lot, where people just they don't even have a conversation with the person they're sitting next to.
Yeah.
You've seen people I've seen at restaurants too, people on phones, and they're just maybe it's business or whatever, but I mean, you know, sometimes I feel when you eat, you gotta put that business on the side and you gotta, you know, enjoy the moment and enjoy the people that you're with too. That's it's unfortunate, but I mean, yeah, and everything is a click away. Man, I remember going to wrestling shows and we'd have to print out on MapQuest or Google Maps and we're printing it out.
Yes.
And so when there's construction or something happens and it's like, oh man, we got to figure this out.
Yo, it really was.
Getting the gas station,
Yes.
sometimes they have a little map. And like, you know, I don't know.
Remember that.
Actually, we were going to go all over back and forth. What's the farthest you've gone for wrestling so far?
So
Like, I know you're still, I want to say, a
Yeah.
year in your second year in the game.
it's actually my first year
Yeah.
of taking bookings.
Okay.
So I graduated a year ago, exactly a year ago.
Okay.
But I mean-
And again, your background, you started at the IWS dojo.
Yes.
Did you shop around? Did you know about the IWS before? How did that go about?
So there's like a little bit of a connection in there with you, actually.
Okay.
So I feel like you're like the Kevin Bacon. What's that?
say 6 degrees.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
in Montreal we have that with you. So I was working at a gym, and I met a girl named Melissa. She started working there, and I was just talking to her randomly, just about, you know, like what we're into. We were getting to know each other, and I said, "Oh, I've always wanted to try wrestling." And then she was like, "I went to school with a gentleman named Andrew Stott that has a fantastic school, IWS Training Center." And I called and I took my first practice with Andrew, and then I never left. And it's funny because Melissa told me that you brought her in the ring at Battle War like millions of years ago and gave her striptease.
Oh,
I know you-
well, yeah.
That's usually how it starts, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's how I learned about the school. That's how I met Andrew, who is my head coach. And
Shane Hawk for everyone out there.
Shane Hawk. Yes. Shane Hawk. And I've had the greatest time since. I've learned so much in like the last 2 years of training, and then even more so in my last year of taking bookings and stuff. So it's been fun. It's been a wild ride.
And it's just getting started. That's the
Oh.
fun part. And I mean,
Yes.
I want to say you're a late bloomer. I thought I was a late bloomer
No.
too when I started. No, but I started my class. Some kids start at 14 now, which is
Yes, they
great.
do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
know.
started when I was 20, I think it was.
Really?
So that's when I first started. And I was like, man, I already missed like 5 years maybe where I could have. But again, you don't know what you know now. Like it was hard to find a wrestling
I could
school.
only imagine.
So like you don't have the internet, you know, you had to go in the yellow pages, the phone book, and check around. You had to go to shows,
Yeah.
go find out
Or
word of
meet
mouth.
people, like,
Yeah.
talk to people,
And then
ask
they
them
tell
where.
you like, yeah, then come before the show, and then you know there's trainings and this and that. So you know it was just now. I mean, again, it's easier to access a lot of different schools, and they're all kind of. I think that they're all helping each other instead of a competition where it used to be. I feel if somebody says, "Hey, you're training with them,"
Yeah.
Oh, cool! You should do a class with them too. I feel everyone's wanting to help each other. They're sharing their information instead of keeping it like private like
Yeah.
it used to be. Kind
Because
of
that's
thing.
I think how you learn. You know, you learn just by like doing different trainings at different places with different people and stuff like that. That's how I think I learn. But
Have you done any seminars too, like in your training yet?
I've
mean,
done a Quackenbush seminar.
one of the best
Yeah,
ones. Yeah, I
That
did
was
that
great.
too.
Yeah, that was great. I did one of that. I haven't had the chance to take another one yet, but it's always on my list.
Yeah.
I'm always interested in learning and like talking and just experiencing all that wrestling has, because I feel like for me, wrestling hasn't just taught me a great craft and a new like hobby or a new art form. It's taught a lot about myself,
Mhm.
you know, the
Okay.
good and the bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just enjoying everything. I really am. I'm here just to have experiences and try to have some fun doing it.
Moments.
Yeah. Like this. Like this is awesome.
I want to thank you too
This is
because the
awesome.
first time I think we were talking about it, we were pit fight wrestling.
Yes, we
Yeah.
We
were.
were backstage and I was just bringing up the thing
Yeah.
about the sauce and then the podcast, and I said eventually we want to have some guests and stuff, and you were the first person that kind of like showed interest, and I'm like, well, you know what, then kind of why don't you be our first guest if it works out.
See?
and the stars aligned, and we're here right now, and we're doing some stuff. So again, we're doing the sauce. We didn't mention at the beginning because sometimes you know me, I just go everywhere. We're at L'Équipe Entreprise again. It's in Dorval, and they prepare frozen meals for businesses. But it's all there's a lot of I call them kids. Sometimes there's people with deficiencies. I want to say some are maybe more intellectual than others of the degree. But this is a place where they get to prepare meals and sell it for businesses. And I know one of the head guys, James, told me, he said, this could be that sometimes their last spot for a job, because if they can't make it here, they're going to probably not be helping out in the community. So I find like when I talk to James too, he's like, and Johnny, they're both great chefs, but they're also like therapists, at the same time.
Great people.
Yeah, and you have to have patience. I mean, I don't know, patience coming out the butt, like to really, to deal with some things like this, because you're got to prepare, you got to meet your quota, meet your food and stuff. But your staff here, they have issues, they want to talk or they want to do things. So I think it's a really good program, and that's why we've partnered up here at the kitchen. It saves us time to make some of the stuff that we're making with the machines that they have. They're all good people. I feel everyone that's doing this project, we all like got same kind of values and stuff like that. So like, again, we make the hot sauce to try and help out different organizations, and L'Équipe Entreprise is our 13th organization that we've been able to give a $500 check to. So it's awesome. It's how a little project like this, it just started out as a fun little idea. And I mean, it's 3 years in the making now. It's going, and
it's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years, and it's like, wow.
We talked about moments and everything. This is pretty much the reason why we decided to do that. So that's why we're doing this. We're having fun. We're talking to people. We get to know people. Yes. James and Johnny gave us the opportunity to use the kitchen, and this is coming out of nowhere, just out of the goodness of their heart, because they're like, if we can help, that's good. Same as you with your venture into wrestling. You get to have little moments, everything, like Eddy said at the bar wrestling one. So I'll do a transition here. Bar wrestling, what made you go to that route instead of like traditional wrestling? Like, what's the first, were you scared?
I feel like because I started wrestling at maybe a little later on in my life, like a little later on in my life, that I feel like, not that I don't have enough time, but I want to do as much as I can. So any opportunity that
catching up for lost time.
Yes, exactly. But that's exactly how I feel. So if there's a cool opportunity, I'm going to take it. Yeah.
And how was that first experience?
It's fun. I have to say, I don't know about you, Eddy, but like a no ring match is fun.
Yeah, it's very different. You got to think a little outside the box.
Exactly.
I mean, and I want to say that sometimes the fans don't get, if they don't come to a real show, I want to say real show with a ring, because we learn a lot in the ring, what we could do. But when you're without the ring, there's something like, to see our full potential, you got to see your jump off the top rope. Same thing for me too.
My favorite.
It's like we're flying, and so again, we use the balconies. We'll jump off other stuff when we do bar fights and stuff like that. We got to be more careful too. We got to the crowd really plays a bigger part, a bigger role.
I agree.
And some places have barricades and some places don't. And so you gotta look. People are very drunk sometimes, and so the ref is there also to check on the people around you and see. It's important, the safety of all the participants involved and stuff. But
it makes you wrestle differently.
Yeah.
Like you have to be more improvise. You have to improvise more. You could challenge yourself like that. So I always think it's fun. I think it's fun.
Any opportunity or any new crowd you get to work with, exactly. It's always fun. And I'll tell wrestlers all the time, like, yes, you can go back to like your stuff that you like to do, your trademarks and stuff.
Right.
But when you go to new places, or you've been to a place like many times, you got to pretend that there's some new fans sometimes. So they got to get to know you. So again, even if you're like, oh, I got to do this again. Yeah, but you know what? Once in a while, you need to show some of those things again, because for the new fans, and it's not always like, oh, we got to reverse this, reverse. Slow down, breathe, and enjoy the moment too.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah, because you know what? Your matches will end so fast. And then you're just kind of like, You know, so enjoy the crowd moments that you have, even though sometimes the promoters will tell you, hey, you only got 6 minutes, you know? So you got to make the best of your 6 minutes. And it's like, you know, but you want it to last longer because, you know, you're enjoying it and stuff.
You really are. Yeah. And then sometimes, you know, you can have like unfortunate mishaps and embarrassing moments as well. No.
I had one time I was fighting we were doing an intergender mixed tag match, and I remember the girl's top got undone in the back, so I'm kind of holding her head, but I'm also tying it up at the same time, and I was just like, so nobody got to see that, but I was kind of like, as much as I wanted to take it off, I was like, you know, she doesn't wrestle anymore, Josie and the Pussycat, but you know, I was kind of like, what should I do the right thing right now? And I'm tying up her top. I'm like, this is so unsexy Eddie of me to do that. Tying a girl's top back on, you know, but again, sometimes you got to be more professional. Yes.
And
that word, professional,
and a gentleman.
Those are two words that usually don't good with
professional,
with sexy
gentleman.
Eddie. No, they don't go good with sexy Eddie. I don't hear them that often, so it is nice once in a while. But yes,
but I do find that it takes a lot of balls to get in the ring. You know, it does. It takes a lot of balls. I feel so. You know, you do the best you can. You hope for the best, and sometimes accidents happen. And that's just it. You move on. We're all adults. We move on.
Indeed.
And again, some people got the more the price for their money. They got more bang for their buck, and great.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's all I have to say. Is
I got a T-shirt. Go buy it.
Yeah.
8x10s, people.
Yeah. But no, everyone is always respectful in wrestling. Everyone's good. I'm happy I wrestled at this time.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky as a woman and as a female to
They can be more serious, I guess, too. Like,
everyone is respectful, and everyone takes you seriously, and that's what I like about it. So I've never had a bad experience in wrestling, only positive.
Sometimes you got a long career ahead of you, and you do meet some bad apples. Either if it's a bad promoter, or you know, sometimes other wrestlers that just they're jealous sometimes, and it's just they don't get like, how come this person got this spot and all this? And it's like, so but I feel it's, there's more bickering. It'll be on like, what is it, behind the screen, the keyboard warriors or something. Yeah. And I'm like,
But I really I have a hard time not understanding why people can't be happy for people in wrestling.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely am happy for my peers. Really, really am. But I guess it just depends like what your relationship with wrestling is.
Yeah.
You know? I respect it and I take it very, very seriously, and I enjoy it. But I also like to see my teammates and my friends do well.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cool attitude.
It goes with everything, and like people get jealous, envious in whatever platform. It's just I think that we're more wrestling fans, and wrestlers, while otherwise are also maybe more vocal in like their little rooms and chat box and whatever have you. So I guess it feels more bickering.
Well, I'm terrible with the internet and all that stuff.
That's a good thing.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I'm more of I'll experience it myself kind of vibe, you know? And then that's it. But I know that we were talking about this before, but I'm gonna go back to it about the, you know, technology and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I hate the most now? Like I have a child. Well, she's 18 now, but when she was younger, she used to always do this.
That means you had your child at 7 years old, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
exactly it. That's exactly what I did. Thank you for not judging me for that as well. But when she was younger, she would always say like, look at this, watch me do this, and it would be annoying because I'm going to be honest with you, as much as I love her, it was never exciting or whatever she had to show me. But now, like I'll be sitting with my father having a coffee, and he'll be like, look at this. Let me show you this. Look at this. And I love him. It's never interesting. So I find like now it's like, it's this all over in my life. Like people always want to show me a video.
Yeah.
And sometimes I don't want to see the video, but I don't know how to say it. So I watch the video and then I just circle.
Well, then they can watch the podcast.
Don't show her any more videos. You got that?
Get it?
You got that?
Done. We're done here. Done.
Now no one's gonna show me any.
I was gonna show you video, but
then
no,
I've seen you on Eddy's show, and I know you don't like it. Oh man, just put my foot in my mouth. But it's just something I very strongly believed in, so I felt like I had to say it. Yeah. I just had to say it.
Put it out there.
So no more videos.
No. I get that.
Unless they're of cats.
Yeah,
cats. Okay,
yeah.
so now you're a cat lady then.
I am. I have
Okay.
3 cats.
Oh, okay.
I'd have 6 if I could.
You're between dog people now. You
Yeah.
know, we're dog people.
You're in dog
It's a
territory here.
No, I am a true dog person.
Yeah.
But it's just my apartment is like the size of a shoebox.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, it wouldn't be fair to the dog,
It would.
But one day I'd like to have a German Shepherd one day. But we'll see. We'll see if that ever happens. If I'm lucky enough. So you guys have dogs.
We've helped some we've helped a couple foundations too,
Yes.
and charities. We tried to diversify, so we did help. There was the farm.
Magoo.
Yeah, Refuge Magoo. Magoo was in Vaudreuil, I believe.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that the one where they rescue the animals? No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's amazing.
that like doing this, like we talk about this project, like it made us meet new people, and sometimes some people maybe don't even know much about wrestling, and then
Right.
they're like, you know
Mhm.
what, I want to go check out a show and stuff, and
Yeah.
so yeah, just. You when you're young doing in wrestling, I feel like maybe people are all feeling entitled, or I know there's the jealousy, maybe because we're more mature when we get older, we're kind of like,
Maybe.
but that's the thing. And then you start wanting to do things for others. Like when you start wrestling, when you're young, I think you want to do it for yourself and you want to like make it big and everything like that. As you get older, my favorite thing is seeing like kids' reactions when they're seeing me in pain or they're cheering for me. And I'm like, I love being able to do that with them and give them a high five and everything. And then we just had a match on the weekend, and me and Matt Viviani, and Viviani made the little girls cry, with the squirt gun and stuff. And so I said, I'll go help. I got you girls, and you want me to hit him again? And it was just fun to have that little action, that
Yes.
action reaction with the kids, and where the little girls too were like, "You're the best, Eddie. You're the best, and you got him good, and I'll get him for you." So it's the
If the
fun
kids
moments.
love you, if the kids love you, it's amazing. It's the best feeling ever.
Oh, it's great.
It's
And
the
then
best
again,
feeling.
we got bar shows sometimes where there are no kids. But I'm gonna make the drunk
Yeah.
people laugh. I'm
Yeah.
gonna give them a good time too. And it's like, you could read your crowd, know your audience, and that's how you could adapt to certain things.
But if there's a kid at a bar show, make him laugh though.
yeah.
You have to make him laugh. Something's wrong with the kid.
I know that at my first student show, my nephew, who was 4 at the time, came to see it, and I was wrestling Alex Mays as a singles. And after he came, like the show was over, Alex and I were just talking, and my nephew came over and wanted to beat him up. Like literally wanted. He was like this to Alex, like, "I'm gonna beat you up. I'm
Yeah.
gonna beat you up." So it evokes a lot of emotions out of the kids. I like it.
Yeah, but as a kid, that's what drove me to that type of event. Like one of my friend, his uncle was not really all there. First show we watched together was ICW in Hochelaga 20 years ago, give or take. So there's the bad guy, he's getting his heat and everything, and he looks at the uncle and like, "Oh, moi je vais te péter la gueule." He got terrified and ran straight home because he was scared of the big guy that was gonna wait for him
Really?
after the show.
No.
I'm like, as much as like you don't want to laugh about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
but that's what's magical about this. For a moment, he believed that it
Yes.
was true.
Yes, it's
So-
awesome. It is
Yeah.
magic. Wrestling is magic. It really is. It really is. And I find wrestling has the best fans ever. The best fans. So
I want to disagree a little bit. I mean, I wish I learned how to skate and play hockey and make a lot of money, because wrestling is a tough one to I mean, and I mean, again, depending on where you're going to be wrestling at, but I'm like, some of the fans, you take a shower maybe, a little deodorant or something like that, and I'm guilty of drinking and sweating it out the next day and stuff too, but fans, prends douche.
Yeah.
That's un bon
I think you
Québécois.
guys smell fantastic.
Oh,
I think you guys smell
stop it.
fantastic.
It's the vegetables, it's the roots.
Speaking of odors, we did do a show for we sponsored a metal show,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
and one of the surprise things that they sold at the merch booth was an actual deodorant. So
That
I'm
was
just
funny.
saying,
Yeah.
I am just saying, maybe
Did-
in wrestling there could be a booth with deos available.
I'm not gonna sell it. I'm not gonna, no. I'm just
You
not.
want to smell
Ri-
like a riot?
No,
You know?
riot for
A
her.
quiet riot. Merch. Do you have merch?
Merch.
I know you started. So
I don't have merch. I have to get merch. I really do.
At least 8x10s. Girls, get your 8x10s.
I
like
know.
that's something. And like, again, a T-shirt or something. You got ideas? You got anything?
You know what? I have a couple of ideas.
Yeah.
I got to see what works, you know, because you want to make something work for everybody, you know.
And I can tell you, as a promoter side, if they see a lot of people wearing your shirt in the crowd, then they know they've invested in you as a wrestler. That, hey, look, these people are wearing her shirt, so then they mean she's bringing people in. So again, that's important. It's a side note.
That's so smart, Eddy.
So once in a while, I get an idea in here. The light bulb goes on. The hamster just wakes up and starts running in the wheel. I'm like,
you're
he's not
very
drunk
smart.
again.
You're very
But
smart.
But
I didn't think of it.
that'll
like that.
show.
Yeah.
So again, and there's a great feeling too when you have kids wearing your
Yep.
your shirt, your merch. You know that you're their favorite one. So that's a really cool feeling too. You're doing something good. But like I said, also for the promoter side, if they see someone you selling shirts, and it's not just for you, you make a little bit of money. Like we don't make a ton because the cost for it, lugging them around, but it is worth it in the end when promoters see a lot of your merch in the crowd. Then they know that they've invested well in you, and it's just, you know, it's a business thing too. So I encourage you to get some merch.
My first show, my sister-in-law made just like a couple of T-shirts, just like that. So there has been some circling around, but I really need to update that. So that's like a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
I never even looked at it.
And you can get fresh stuff. Don't do the mistake that Animal did. Animal went and, hey, if I buy a big amount of shirts, like 200 of them,
we love you, Animal.
then I love you. But and then he was like, you know what? But it's a learning mistake you do where you're like, it's going to be a lot cheaper. But 200 of the same shirt, especially someone that is that has so much potential to draw and do things and do artwork. You know, to make 200, it's going to be a long time that you're going to be looking at that design and being like, I can't wait to finish, get rid of these shirts, you know? So if you keep staying fresh, like every maybe 6 months, and you put out a T-shirt or you do something and you know, you see how it goes and stuff. So it is going to cost you more, I guess, if you're making smaller batches, but you know, you could change your designs.
You're right. You're not committed to the same one until you sell every single one of them. Yeah. It does make sense.
So, and the first shirt, sometimes some people are just they're thinking too hard. They're like, oh, I want it to be perfect. I want it to, you know, it's just like a relationship or your first time you're going to have sex. It's going to be perfect. You know, no, it's just do your first T-shirt, get it over with. Just, you know, bang a couple of them out, bang a couple of those T-shirts out and see how they go. And that's it.
See what works.
That's how I like,
With those words of wisdom, we will take one moment of time out to clean stuff up because we dirtied up the whole place.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back in 5 seconds. And we're back. Let's go. So,
let's talk about that trip. The longest trip I want to know is that, again, the things that we do for wrestling, how passionate we are. We're ready to go to great heights and great lengths. So the longest trip you did so far, and we're far from over, but so far.
Far to date, you'll correct me if I say it wrong, Matan.
Okay.
Yes, I was there maybe 2 weeks ago. Had a great trip there. Had a great match. Got to wrestle my friend Audrey Moreau 2 times. Once I was the heel, then she was the face, and we had a good time.
Okay. Was it a festival there happening, or was it?
It was just like it was a town
spot
festival.
show. Okay.
Yeah, it was a spot show for sure for the town. It was like a lot of people there. The crowd was great. Everyone was fun. We got to spend 2 days just hanging out and having fun.
That's really important, is enjoying when you go to places. There's too many times where we would drive and wrestle and then sleep there and come back and not enjoy the towns.
Exactly.
Enjoy as much as you can.
Yes.
Take it in.
We went for
try
walks.
the food. Oh,
we went
good,
for
good,
walks.
Good. Yeah.
We went because they're famous for lobster, right? So I don't eat lobster.
Okay.
So my friends ordered like a whole bunch of seafood.
Yeah.
Seafood. And then my plate comes and it's bolognese pasta.
Okay.
Like I missed it out, but I tried to experience as much as I could.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful place. The people were so nice there. Like we went for a walk, and when we crossed paths with people, they said bonjour.
That's, you know, not people just looking at their phone.
No,
they're looking at
like
each other.
Literally
and enjoying it.
look, and like we stopped, and like there was a gentleman with like an old car, and he took the time to like show us about the car. It was just, You know when things are just simple sometimes?
Yeah. That's
Simple.
that's nice. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. That's
it's nice. It always makes me think I want to live in a place like that eventually. But I also love Montreal.
Yeah, I know it's and to get around from wrestling too. There probably isn't
Yeah.
much other wrestling that happens there. And as you're starting out too, you want to do as many shows as possible.
Yeah.
Like even she's going to be wrestling tonight also. So
Yes, I will be
you know.
wrestling at WTA tonight, so that's exciting.
So technically, when this comes out, it won't be that same
Yes.
day. But
Yeah.
It
so
will have been over. And
so-
I'll have won.
Yeah.
Because I do that.
well, hey, good.
And Eddie, what was your longest ride?
I did Newfoundland,
Oh.
and we drove. We took a ferry. Even I think it was 26 hours.
Like,
I think
did
it
you
was.
guys stop at any
We were
time?
4 in the car.
Okay.
Even Manny slept the whole way. 26. I don't know how he sleeps with one eye open too, which is pretty freaky. Yeah, that was it. It was one of our first road trips. We're like, man, we're leaving the province. This is really cool. And we were so green. We didn't.
How old were you at this time? Were you like young?
Man, I want to say 21, 20, 21.
So you're
I
like a
think.
young lad.
Yeah. And so we're all like, just, driving with our Google Maps and stuff. Cause that's how we had to do it, and a map book and stuff like that. I think I didn't want to, at first I was like, yes, I made it. But then I was like, now my butt can't take these long rides. Like if it's more than 5 hours, I tend to kind of like, but
Think
again, it
about it.
depends the company you're with.
Yeah.
Company is and I tell people this too. Once you start out with your crew, and you'll all kind of graduate at different levels, and some people might get more bookings and stuff. But when you have your core crew
Yeah.
that you travel with and you learn together, and that you can count on and stuff like that, it makes the car rides much more enjoyable. Where to the point where, I mean, at first I was like, what are we going to talk about for 8 hours? And then the next month would be again another 8 hours. What are we going to talk about this time? What are we going to talk about this time? Same thing I'd say with Eric when we did the sauces. We're just like, man, we've talked about everything, and then we just go blah blah blah. We just go on with it. So it's the company that'll make the rides a lot more pleasurable. And if you're with good company that like to stop once in a while,
Yes.
take a picture,
Yes.
enjoy the view. They're just sometimes you're in and out of a city, and that's what it is. That's how it is. But if you got the time to enjoy, like you did in Matan, which is you just realize like, hey, I'd come back here, or maybe with my kids this time, or a family vacation and stuff.
You get to experience a lot of your own country with wrestling. Like I never would have been to half these places if wrestling didn't bring me there. So I'm always grateful to wrestling and for what it brings me and what it gives me. So
Your decision to start wrestling too later. Did you love wrestling when you were young?
Okay, so I am not like the hugest, I can't quote things, and I can't, about wrestling, but I've always respected the sport,
Mhm.
and I've always appreciated it, and I've always loved the athleticism of it. But growing up, I was always afraid of looking stupid
Mhm.
or being judged or not being good enough. So I never did it.
Mm.
So then one day I turned 40 3 years ago. I turned 40 and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it because it's now or never, And I always try to tell people with anything, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, do it. Just do it. And if I would have continuously been afraid of what people thought, I never would have done it.
True.
And now I'm here making sauce with you and sexy Eddy.
I tell that to myself too. If I go back in time, and it'd be like, just have more confidence. That's what I
That's
tell
the
myself when I
thing.
was younger, and go for it. Because like a lot of times I was like, oh no, there's people that are better than me, that are quicker than me, that are stronger.
Yes.
But when you combine everything
Right.
That wrestling has, like, comedic timing, character, high flying, like no one does exactly like you do. They might be better at this, they may be better at that, but to have a whole package is important too. So
I love hearing that.
and it's just to say that no one is exactly like you. So that's I would just push to have more confidence.
That's the thing. And like, I think ideally you want to pretend, you want to come off that you have a lot of confidence, but sometimes you just don't. And so I'd like to fake it till I make it, but
but wrestling gives you that too.
Yeah.
It gives you that. And you know what? That the thing is, you could do whatever you want, and it's like, people will like, there's haters everywhere. There's haters in everything. So you just be you.
Yes,
be you and
be
do,
you.
yeah, exactly. And,
Yes.
that's gonna get you so much more. I feel noticed. Where
I think
people.
so.
You know,
And how did you announce it to your kid? How did it go over?
Well,
like, mommy's gonna be a
mommy's
wrestler.
gonna start wrestling at 40. Like, like, no, but mommy's going to class.
Mommy's
Yeah.
going to Matan to play with other guys and they in their underwears.
We're gonna my daughter she's very opposite of me.
Yeah.
So this is not interesting to her at all, but she'll make the effort to ask me how things are.
Okay.
But one day I did come back from one show, I'm forgetting what show it was, and I showed her a video of something that I had done, and then she said to me, she's like, I'm really impressed, like, you're a performer. And I was like, you know what? I am. Because sometimes, like you said, you can get stuck comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Or, you may not think you're as good as other people, but you have to just be happy with what you can do. And I find wrestling has a place for everybody.
Yep.
You just got to find your spot.
And you tried it. Trying is the hardest. I think it's like the 90%. Like when they say
Yes.
going to the gym is the hardest part. Once you're there, then,
Yes.
but they say that 90% to get out of the house and go to the gym. Eric runs and stuff, and then he sends me a picture, and then I'm like, oh wow,
You
I was drinking a
run?
6-pack.
And
He'll send me how much time it took, and I'm like, yeah, I should maybe run too. And then I go in the fridge and open a beer.
you
and
run to the fridge to get another beer.
Yeah. Like,
I
sometimes it's so much
couldn't
easier. But
I
Eric
hate
motivates me. He's made me do a lot of projects, merchandise, things like that, where I was
Yeah.
kind of like lazy on. But I'm like, no, if someone's telling you that, hey, people will buy it,
Yes.
let's try this. It's he gets me out of the
encouraging.
house sometimes to do stuff like this, and this is.
No, but I
Just
get
not
it.
running.
After a while, I guess you get like blasé of doing certain things. You're like,
Right.
man, I don't, I come in I like to have fun and do whatever. It's like, how about we do more t-shirts? How about we do this, man? But I have to carry them. Like, I'll take care of the design. I'll wrap the fucking t-shirt in, whatever. Okay, then. Hey, they sell. All right. How about more?
Yeah.
That's a
Right,
good
whatever.
friend. That's
No.
like a good friend.
Oh, I guess we can call ourselves that.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
friends. We're
yeah.
friends now. We've graduated to
Yeah,
that.
exactly. We're acquaintances for a while, but then
After making like
Life happens.
10,000 bottles of
The
sauce,
sauce,
I don't know how many
yeah.
we made.
Kind
And
of-
like,
That brings people together.
kind of.
It brings people together. It brings people together.
No, but yeah. So you were saying like your relationship with wrestling and your daughter.
It's just, and I'm a little jealous because like I'll hear other people say like, "Oh, I was practicing this move with my boyfriend or my girlfriend,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Mackenzie, let's practice a move," and she's like, "Get away from me!"
Yeah.
just like,
Mom, I don't want to get hurt again. It's like the third time you're bringing her to the hospital, and like,
Yeah.
were you wrestling again with your daughter? You
they're
know?
gonna start asking questions or
Yeah.
something. But
But she encourages you, right?
she
Like
does
that's
encourage me.
cool.
She'll
That's
ask
really
me,
cool.
about it and stuff, and I'm having a good time, so that's really all that matters, But I remember that I did when I did take one class with at the IWS,
Yeah.
and then I was like, what did I get myself into? I didn't go back for another 6 months.
Oh.
That's the honest.
Were you
God
feeling
truth.
sore, or you just weren't sure if it was for you yet? kind
No,
of
I
thing?
was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of hard things in my life. You know what I mean? But it was just, I think it's because when you see it presented to you, like when I'm watching a show, you guys make it look so effortless. But it is by far the most incredibly rewarding
Yeah.
experience. It's hard, but it's rewarding.
I've done a lot of different sports too, and where and you know why I started doing professional wrestling is because I got injured playing rugby, and I was like, well, I won't get injured in the fake wrestling stuff, and I've gotten more injuries
to believe
doing
it.
this. Again, some of them are more by choice, depending on what kind of like I'm doing a match with light tubes and stuff, but sometimes there's just it's an off day or accidents will happen all the time.
Yes.
So I got
absolutely.
more injuries when I thought I'd be like, I'll get into the fake wrestling and this stuff. And it's like, no, man, it's a different type of training, and
Yes.
it's just as hard, but it's just as rewarding.
Rewarding.
Like
Yes.
the amount of times you'll bump in the mat, bump is when you fall on your back or you go front flip. The amount of times you do that before you can actually then do your first show, who knows? It could be 1,000. I don't know.
Yes,
You know what I
it
mean?
could
Like,
be, it could be.
so that's the thing. But when you do take that first fall and you're kind of smiling inside and your first performance, like you want everyone to see your big smile because it's hard to hide it, but like you're having so much fun in there.
You really are.
You know, but you still gotta look like I'm getting hurt, but this is so cool, like, you know. So it's
yes, it is. I had a match in a maybe a year ago, and when the match was over, I was laying on the mat, and I remember vividly just like looking up and like being like, this is why I do it. This is why, like, you know, when you have that moment where you're just like, oh, it all makes sense now. It was beautiful. It really was. I'm just having way too much fun.
No, and continue having fun. I mean, that's how it should be. And you know, the more I feel the plus que tu dégages of like the more that you like, it's an aura, and when people see you're really having fun, then they're having more fun, and
it's contagious.
Yeah,
it really is. And you know, you said that you played rugby before, and this is what I always say. I no disrespect to like any other sport like hockey or baseball, like everyone is like hardworking, but I find wrestling is the only sport that's like 3 in 1. You know what I mean? Because it's not just athleticism, it's like acting, it's crowd control, like that's a lot, you know. So I find it's a very dynamic sport compared.
That was another reason I got into wrestling, because I was like, I liked acting, but I'm not good at remembering lines. So I'm like, I can kind of half-ass it, you know, I can do some acting and stuff. But then, you know, once it's like natural, it comes naturally to you. And my force is the acting part. I let the young kids, I'm like, okay, you guys figure out the wrestling moves. I'll just go do one of these gyration things, and that's my move. That's my big thing.
It works every time.
It works
every time.
Thank you.
It works every time. That's why I would say.
Andrew, I remember doing a class with Shane Hawk also, and one thing he says, if you know your role on the card, like there's certain characters that have certain kind of jobs. Not everyone's going to be a main eventer all the time, or, you know, like, so if you know where you're situated on the card and what your role is for the crowd, then as everyone tries to be the same person, then it's just like, you know, but if you accept that, like, hey, okay, I'm a little older, I'm a little slower, but I can do the entertaining thing. So that's my role, is to make people kind of laugh at certain parts in the match and stuff. Like, you know, I used to be able to put on like a good clinic, a serious, but again, that was a long time ago. Now you got to pace yourself a little bit differently and know when to, I guess, take breaks and stuff. And
that's experience.
And there was I really liked when there was a quote a wrestler said. He was talking about a story, and he was saying how you need to bore the crowd sometimes.
Okay.
And I think it was an Eddie Guerrero quote. So he was telling one of the younger guys, he's like, you have to bore them a little bit, so when it's time to lift them back up, if they're hot all the whole time and the spot never ends and everyone's yelling, eventually they're getting tired.
Have to come down,
so you need to bore them a little bit to make it like, oh, here he comes. And I was like, it's your rest period time. It's like, you know, if you need to get back to regroup and
catch a breath,
you know, and see where we're going from there, or you know, if the promoter's also saying stuff like, you know, you got to do, like I said, if they give you a short amount of time, you got to make the best out of what is given to you. So, you know, if it's a short amount of time, like those new, I haven't been to a show yet for SeXXXy, but like they do these chrono matches, and it's like 3 minutes. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but some people can do so much in that time.
I've been lucky enough to be there.
That's what I was going to say. I think you were maybe on the first or second card.
I was on the first one. I got to wrestle Drea.
Okay.
And then the second time I got to wrestle Mel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a good vibe. The energy there is always awesome.
Yeah.
The backstage is always great. The people are always fantastic. It's just a good vibe. And someone once told me, a wrestler once told me that it's not always how good you are, but sometimes like your energy backstage will make people want to have you come back, you know?
Yeah.
So it's always important to be good and positive. And why wouldn't you want to be? You're there chilling with your friends.
Yeah, you're
wrestling and chilling with your friends.
Like,
see all my friends.
You'll have some up and down in wrestling. Sometimes you lose friends because the friends that you used to go hang out with, well, they don't always want to go to wrestling shows, and they're like, oh, are you busy? You're wrestling again? And then you end up, but you make new friends.
Yeah.
The wrestling family. I like to call it like a big gang. We're just like gang. It's like, you know, we're wearing uniforms. We're kind of like, you know, different colors, and we're causing trouble. We're breaking stuff. If you look at a dumpster with table pieces, like, what, there was like a fight here. It's like, it's a gang. We're in a gang. Like, you know, we have weird way of a little language. There's some words that we use as wrestlers, and it's very Yeah, and we don't do graffiti on things, but
No.
again, we
leave our mark.
we leave our mark.
We
So
leave our mark. That's
Break
for sure.
walls.
Yeah. Tables, couple
Tables,
doors.
Yeah, a couple.
You know, couple of doors, couple. You know.
is
like-
there? I know you got so much that you could still left to do, but
Yeah.
like I mean, so some of the things on your bucket list. Do you
My
have a
bucket
couple
list.
things that you'd like to accomplish throughout your wrestling career? And sometimes, again, small goals are good
Yeah.
too, because but in the bigger goals, sometimes people will be like, I want to do this as a make a living out of wrestling, So if there's anything like, give us some of your bucket list things,
This
like
could
places you
be
want to go.
Absolutely ridiculous that I could say this out loud, but the truth is, I would love to one day, before my wrestling journey is over, to have a match with Minogue St. Jacques. That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list.
Well, we're gonna
So-
make dreams come true. We're gonna make that
Manifest
happen.
it.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna manifest it. I mean, it's a wrestling match that might not look like it makes sense on paper, but I know I would have a lot of fun.
It's wrestling. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways. You have to make
because-
it make sense.
Just because I know that I probably would learn a lot from him. He's very entertaining. He's a great wrestler, and he always has the best matches.
Yeah, it's when
really does.
Tabernacle team are on the card, and I'm like, okay, where am I positioned? Am I? Ooh, okay, I'm gonna,
You want to know exactly.
I just see where I'm like, okay. I always tell them, guys, don't. I got one move. Don't steal it, please. Okay, don't steal that. So like, okay.
No one gyrates, please.
Tomo's like, okay, I'll let you have it.
He's
kid.
like, you
This
can have
does-
that. But Eddie, have you had a match that has stood out in all of your career?
My match that stood out, I think, is the one for me was one of my favorite reactions was going to Philadelphia. So after I bled, my vein bled.
Are you talking
I
about
came
the
back-
bicep?
Yeah, and I came back
I
to
was
like
gonna
a
bring that up.
hero's welcome where
It's
I
the
was
coolest
like,
thing ever.
and that's when I really, because I was gonna quit wrestling. I was seriously at that point. I was like the 21 stitches all over my body. Driving back 10 hours. I was from Delaware, so I was like, is this even worth it? And then I'm recovering, and
Right.
I'm down in the dumps because I'm not wrestling. So I was just like, maybe I should quit this. It's cost me more money now than I made. Like the promoter gave me an extra $50 because he felt bad, and I didn't get to do my third match in that tournament. But so when we came back to Philadelphia to a hero's welcome, I knew that I had a place in wrestling, and there was a place for me in there.
Yes.
So that's when I was like, you know what? All these people that saw, that encouraged me, and all the get well soon wishes, I was kind of like, you know what? This is this is my home. This
It
is
was
my home.
an epic moment
Oh.
in wrestling. It was like people talk about that all the time.
I know a bunch
I
of
was-
psychos they are. They're still talking about
It
that.
was just that video was literally shown to me not too long ago. I
Yeah.
was like, that's insane.
You're like, I know that person. They're like, oh, shit, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's that was a moment.
Yep.
you
That
make
was a
you make
moment.
moments that sometimes you don't realize the impact, or
Right.
you don't realize the impact of who's in the crowd. Let's
Yes.
say one of the kids that you might have high-fived,
Right.
let's say that kid is the next John Cena. Who
Yes,
knows?
yes.
So you never know. Time will pass, but they
Yeah.
might say, "Hey, I was at this show and I remember this wrestler gave me a high five and said something to me, and I always remember that." And that they're first.
Because we
You never
see
know.
It. We
Yeah.
see it now. Like there's people that are like, that are
So
wrestling.
yeah,
now.
make those moments for the people
Yeah.
that are there, because if that kid will say in an interview and he's like retired from WWE,
Yeah.
I remember Riot Ricci. She really, she,
That's what I was gonna say. As we're winding down, because I think we're running out of turmeric.
Wow.
It's time to almost call it a day.
Oh
so
my God, I could
I'll
just
end
talk
with that one
forever.
last question.
Yeah.
What do you think is gonna be your impact? What's the mark that you're gonna leave on the business?
your legacy.
The
My legacy? I think I just want. That's a very good question. I think I just want people to believe in themselves. That's it. Because I feel like a lot of our fears and our insecurities keep us back from living our lives. I know it sounds so cliche.
No,
But,
but it's your story.
Yeah,
That's
it is,
what's really
is.
cool.
And if I would have, fell into that scaredness and insecurity, I would not be doing this. I wouldn't have a community of friends and family and stuff like that. So I'm happy. So that's I just want people to believe in themselves and don't think you're too old or don't think you're not good enough. Just fucking do it. Just do it.
Very empowering. Very
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
And with these words,
yes.
I think it's time to call it a day.
Oh.
We can say, just fucking do it.
Just do it.
Just
Do it.
do it.
Just
Do it.
do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Starsky and Hutch. I remember that. Do it. Do it.
All right, with this, we'll call it a day. Have a good, safe trip, kiddies. Have fun.
Yum, yum.
Bye-bye.
Riot Ricci. Awesome.